Everybody, Mark Allison here for this week in WWE. Sorry I'm a little bit late on this and everything. I was wanting to get it up yesterday and have it up for Friday, but it's probably going to be up by Saturday now. I'm going to try and get these out every Friday and everything, but I was tired last night, so I went on to bed. But anyway, what a week it was in WWE this week. As you can see, I'm wearing my D-Generation X shirt. I've had this thing ever since I was a kid and everything. And the big news is D-Generation X, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and Chyna are all going into the Hall of Fame this year. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see the induction ceremony for that, because you know it's going to be wild and crazy probably. And congratulations. This will make 2 Hall of Fame rings for Shawn Michaels. Chyna is finally getting in the Hall of Fame. Honestly, it's like I was surprised that they mentioned Billy Gunn, because as far as I know, I think he's working with AEW and everything. So it's kind of interesting there what's going to happen with that whole situation. But either way, enough of that. Congratulations to D-Generation X on being the first inductees into the 2019 Hall of Fame. Let's get right to the matches. Right to the shows for this week in WWE. We started out with WWE main event. Like I said, I'm going to start with the first thing they usually tape and go on. They do tape main event before Raw does take place. So main event this week started out with No Way Jose taking on Razor with Drake Maverick. Pretty good match between these two. You know, there's 2 big men going out there and just pretty much duking it out. Razor does get the win. Can't wait. It's like I hate that his partner, Akam and everything, is injured right now. He's got the knee injury and everything, so that kind of put a whole momentum on AOP and everything. It's like, but you know that Razor's still getting matches and everything. At least he's getting matches. He does pick up the win over No Way Jose here. Pretty clean win too. The next match on main event was a rematch from last week. It was Tyler Breeze and the B team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, taking on Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers, Sunil and Samir. Like I said, this was a rematch from last week, and the winner, the outcome was still the same. Tyler Breeze and the B team still pick up the win. It's interesting to see what they're going to do with Jinder and the Singhs. I have a feeling we're probably going to see those 2 teams break apart and everything eventually. And maybe the Singhs go their own way, get back into the tag, because they need more tag teams. They honestly do. And honestly, I would like to see them do more with Jinder Mahal. He is a former WWE champion and everything, and I think it's like if he don't get back to the top of the card, I would like to see him maybe in that mid card, maybe the Intercontinental title picture or something. Tyler Breeze is another one I would love to see. I don't see Tyler getting to the world title and everything, but he would be perfect for the Intercontinental or U.S. title, or hell, sorry about that, or put him on 205 Live and everything. And I think him and Buddy Murphy would have some great matches on 205 Live. But nonetheless, like I said, the outcome was the same. Tyler Breeze and the B team do pick up the win over Jinder and the Singhs. Now we're going to move on to Monday Night Raw. And this week, pretty much in WWE, was NXT TakeOver and everything, because we've seen four NXT wrestlers pretty much make their debut on both Raw and SmackDown. So it was NXT TakeOver week and everything, with a big title change that happened this week too. We'll get to that when we get to that. But Raw starts out with pretty much a rematch from, well, it was a no DQ match at Elimination Chamber. But on Raw, it was a tables match, Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. The same thing I said about this match at Elimination Chamber. I didn't really care for these two. They do a nice job in these weapons matches and everything, because they go out there and they do beat the crap out of each other. Braun Strowman does get the win back from Elimination Chamber by putting Baron Corbin through a table. So Braun gets his win back. Once again, 50-50 booking. What can you say about it? Up next was Finn Balor and Ricochet taking on Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley in a tag team match. Yeah, I know. I thought they was going to break apart Leo and Bobby, but apparently not. they both come out. The way this match was set up, Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, they attacked Finn Balor before the match. Ricochet makes the save, and we got a tag team match. Pretty good match here. This was pretty much a match just to showcase what Ricochet can do. And if you don't know who Ricochet is, if you've never seen his matches, I suggest you go check him out, because he is something and everything in the ring. I mean, he is fluid, and it's like watching a video game and everything. Like what a lot of people compare him to a superhero. Yeah, he's like a superhero come to life with what he does in that ring. Very good tag team match. Finn Balor and Ricochet do pick up the win, with Ricochet getting the pin over Lio Rush after hitting the 630 splash. So very good for the NXT call up here. Up next was pretty much a throwaway match, because neither team got any entrance or anything. But it was Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder taking on the Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik. And yeah, I'm looking at my notes over here, if you see me looking down. They're continuing. Kurt Hawkins losing streak and everything. Don't know where they're going to go with this. He's got to get a win eventually, you think. But Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik pick up the win for the Lucha House Party. Woohoo! Up next, we had a rematch from, if you've watched NXT in the past, it was the current Raw Tag Team Champions, the Revival, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, taking on DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, who are, Gargano is the North American heavyweight champion, and Ciampa is the NXT heavyweight champion. So, very good match here. If you've seen I mean, this match wasn't as good as they had in NXT, but this is a Raw and everything, so they're not going to go out there and kill it like they do on the takeovers or anything like that. But this was a very good match. Probably one of the best matches we've seen best tag team matches we've seen on Raw in a while. And the surprise, DIY, Gargano and Ciampa, they pick up the win here over the Revival and everything. So that's NXT 2 wins tonight. So far, like I said, it was a takeover for NXT. Up next, we had Drew McIntyre taking on Dean Ambrose. This match was set up backstage after Dean Ambrose slapped Drew McIntyre, and honestly, I don't know what to think about this match. It was short and sweet. 2 Claymore kicks by McIntyre, and Dean Ambrose goes down 1, 2, 3. I don't know where they're going with Dean Ambrose right now. I really don't. If he's leaving the company, it's like they're going to put him on a losing streak apparently until he's gone. But Drew McIntyre does pick up the win. See where they go with McIntyre from here. Up next, we had Elias getting ready to put on a concert. He's interrupted by Aleister Black, another NXT call-up. Pretty good match here between these two. They didn't seem to really gel all that well to me and everything. I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but it didn't seem like Aleister and Elias, it didn't seem like they meshed too well together. But it was a good match. Aleister Black does pick up the win with the black mass on Elias. So, once again, NXT wins. Main event for Raw was the Raw Women's title match. It was a rematch. It was Ruby Riott taking on Ronda Rousey. And if you watched my review from Elimination Chamber, you know I was disappointed in that match. They made up for it here and everything. I think they realized that they messed up at the pay-per-view. They gave these two girls more time. The outcome was, what we all thought it was going to be, but they did. They gave these girls more time. The match was a solid match all the way through. Ruby looked very competitive in this, which I was glad to see. Ronda looked good. This was probably one of the best matches I've seen with Ronda Rousey in a while and everything. This was a really good match. Ronda Rousey does pick up the win with the armbar at the end. She does retain. She gets a little bit. She beats up the Riott Squad a little bit, and leaves Ronda standing in the ring holding the title at the end as the show goes off the air. All in all, I did like Raw. It's like it had. I didn't like all the tag team matches back to back, but it wasn't as bad as the 6-man tag team match from I think 2 weeks ago. That was god awful. But I like Raw. It wasn't the best Raw I've seen in a while. It didn't flow all that well. It didn't flow from segment to segment, to match as well as you would like. But it wasn't a horrible Raw. Some of the matches were good. I really dug the Raw Women's title match. I was glad to see those two ladies get more time to shine. But Raw was really good. Let's move on now to Tuesday, SmackDown Live. Kicks off with Shane McMahon in the ring. He says that he's going to have the NXT guys on SmackDown. Miz comes out and apologizes for losing. The Usos come out. Pretty much they're setting up a rematch, the Usos versus Shane McMahon and the Miz at Fastlane. Going to be interested to see what goes on there. It's like I said that we're probably going to get Shane and the Miz at WrestleMania, so it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to get to there, what's going to happen. I don't see them getting the titles back at Fastlane. This is going to be some kind of breaking point for these two, and we're going to get that match between Shane McMahon and The Miz at WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure. But we go into our first match, which was Aleister Black taking on Andrade, and this was a much better match for Aleister Black. We know in the past on NXT, him and Andrade, they had a great feud. This was a very good match. It was better than the match we saw on Raw with him and Elias. In the end, Aleister Black does pick up the win over Andrade. And so far, Andrade and stuff, he's not been able to beat Aleister Black, so they're keeping that narrative going. Kind of shame, though, because of all the momentum he had, with Rey Mysterio, that he would lose here, but I don't know, we'll have to wait and see where this goes from here. Up next, we had The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro taking on DIY, Ciampa and Gargano. Very good match. You could definitely tell this was a much different match than what we had on Raw with the Revival. And the other thing you could tell watching the match, The Bar is freaking huge, man, especially compared to Ciampa and Gargano. They look small in the ring to these two guys. A sick, nasty spot with Ciampa in the match. He flips over to powerbomb Sheamus, and the way he landed in his knee and Sheamus landed on that knee, I swear I thought he'd done blown his knee out after seeing that. Luckily he did. He was able to finish the match, and actually Ciampa was the one to get the pinfall for his team. And DIY, they defeated the Revival on Monday, and on SmackDown they defeated The Bar. So it's gonna be interesting to see where they go from here with this and everything. So it's like I mean, your top two teams on SmackDown Raw both lost to NXT call-ups and everything. I mean, I don't know where they're going from here, but NXT looks pretty strong. Up next, we had Asuka out, finally back on SmackDown. We ain't seen her in forever, it seems like. She says she's ready for any kind of competition. Out comes Mandy Rose. They have a match, and I know where they're going, and I like Mandy, but I think there's so many other ways they could get there than pretty much. Mandy, she hot-shotted Asuka into the rope throat first, rolls her up, don't even hook the tights or grab the rope or nothing, no outside interference from Sonya Deville. Pretty much gets a clean win over Asuka and everything, and I hated that. I hated the fact that Asuka lost so clean like she did. I mean, I know we gotta get the feud going between these two, but I just think there's so many other ways that I would have got into that. I hated seeing Asuka lose, especially after defeating Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. But Asuka does lose here. Mandy Rose does pick up the win, so we know we're probably going to get. I don't think they're going to stretch this match out to WrestleMania. I don't know who Asuka's opponent's going to be for WrestleMania, but they'll probably have this match at Fastlane and everything, and then probably set up Asuka's match for WrestleMania after Fastlane. But don't get me wrong, I do like Mandy Rose. I just think they could have found some other way to get into this feud other than having her go ahead and get a clean win over Asuka after coming off the huge win from Royal Rumble. Up next, we had singles action. Ricochet taking on Eric Young. Where in the world is sanity, man? That's all I gotta say. They just show up, just no reason, just there. Very good match here. This Ricochet got to shine a little bit more in singles action instead of tag team action. There wasn't as many players involved, and Ricochet does pick up the win over Eric Young. I mean, it's not like that matters. We ain't seen Eric Young on TV or Sanity on TV in probably months and everything. But Ricochet looked good. He got the win. NXT, they dominated both Raw and SmackDown in their call-ups. Main event time, as it was a 6-man tag. Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy against Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, and Randy Orton. Very solid main event here. for SmackDown. I think I would like the women's title main event a little bit more than this. Don't get me wrong, it was a good 6-man tag match, but I'd rather have a singles match there and everything than a 6-man tag. Kofi Kingston does pick up the win for his team by pinning Daniel Bryan. Shane McMahon comes out and says Kofi's going to be the next challenger for Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. And we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, if it's anything like it's been in the past and everything, this is going to be something to see. Will they put the title on Kofi and have him go into WrestleMania and Bryan being the challenger? Who knows? Crazier things have happened. Can't wait to see what happens next. Up next, following right after SmackDown, was 205 Live. It was announced there will be an 8-man tournament starting next week. The winner will face Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania. I'll get into who I think might win that later on. But tonight they had Humberto Carrillo taking on TJP. A very good match here. And the recently released TJP, according to what I read today, TJP has been granted his release from WWE, so nice knowing he is. Like, he'll probably wind up in All Elite Wrestling or maybe Impact. It's like, I would say he would probably go to All Elite. He is a heck of a talent. Couldn't really get over in WWE. The fans just really didn't care for him. Even when he was a champion, they just didn't care. But either way, Humberto Carrillo, he did get the win over TJP in his match going out. You know, they always say you got to go out on your back if you're leaving and everything. I'm still on the fence about Humberto Carrillo. I mean, he's good, but I don't know. There's something about him. I'm on the fence about him. Up next, we had a squash match. It was Arya Daivari taking on local talent Johnny Lyons, I think they called him. Pretty much a squeaky squash. Arya Daivari just starting his run. Puts him away handily. And not much you can really say about that. The main event was Mike Kanellis taking on Cedric Alexander. This was a very good match. It's a shame that Mike Kanellis, he just cannot seem to get his footing. I don't know what it is. I mean, he's a heck of a talent. It's like, I think I've heard in the past that him and Rhea both asked for their release and everything, maybe to go to All Elite or something. I hate that, but the fans are just, I think it's the gimmick. I think it's the whole Power of Love gimmick. The fans ain't getting behind. I think they need to probably try and give him something different. Maybe repackage him and Maria both, give them a new gimmick. Because he's a heck of a worker. And this match right here between him and Cedric was a very great match. They had a false finish in it where you thought Mike had won, but Cedric had got his shoulder up at the last minute. Cedric Alexander does pick up the win with the lumbar check, and great main event for 205 Live. Up next, we had NXT UK, and it comes on earlier in the day and everything, thanks to the time difference and everything. But the first match out of the belt for NXT UK was Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster taking on the Coffey brothers, Mark and Joe Coffey. Very good dynamic here in this match. It was kind of reminded me of the SmackDown match between the Bar and the DIY. Two big guys, two little guys using their speed and quickness, big guys using their power. Very good match between these two. The Coffey brothers do pick up the win, probably keeping that momentum. I look for them to possibly challenge for the UK Tag Team titles very soon. Up next, we had Trent Seven taking on Shane Thorne. Trent Seven of Mustache Mountain and British Strong Style, and Shane Thorne. I don't know what happened to his partner. I don't know if he got released or got hurt. But I'm going to have to look that up and find out what happened to his partner. Good match here. Good showing by Shane Thorne. Trent Seven does pick up the win with the lariat clothesline. I think he calls the 7-star. No. I can't remember what he called it. I had to look it up. But he does pick up the win over Shane Thorne here. Good match here between these two. Both of them look really well. Main event was for the UK women's title. It was Rhea Ripley taking on Toni Storm, who is the champion. In the Rhea Ripley got a rematch here tonight. Another good women's title match, same as Raw. I think I like the one. Don't get me wrong, I like this one. I thought Rhea and Tony did a really good job, but I think I like the Raw Women's title match just a little bit more than I did this one. Tony Storm does pick up the win. She does retain her UK Women's title. It's gonna be now. I want to see Tony take on somebody different. Don't get me wrong, I like Rhea and stuff, but it's time for a new challenger to step up on the UK brand. Then we go to regular NXT. The show kicked off with Aleister Black taking on Roderick Strong. Aleister Black's had a heck of a week. He took on Elias at Raw, Eric Young on SmackDown, and on NXT he took on Roderick Strong. And I think this he didn't take on he took on Andrade as on SmackDown, and on NXT he took on Roderick Strong. And I think this was probably his best match of the week. I've always been a big fan of Roderick Strong. I thought this match was really good. Probably, like I said, he's probably Aleister Black's best showing. He does pick up the win by hitting the Black Mass on Roderick Strong. Afterwards, the Undisputed Era comes in. They attack him. Ricochet makes the save, so we're probably getting a tag team match, some sort of tag team match. Aleister Black and Ricochet, probably either against. There's no telling who it could be against. Any four members of the Undisputed Era, so that's going to be good to see. Out next, we had Mia Yim taking on Xia Li. Xia Li is getting more and more impressive every time I see her. This was a good women's match here. Mia Yim, I've always liked her ever since I saw her in TNA or Impact Wrestling, whichever one you want to say. Mia Yim does pick up the win here over Xia Li, and afterwards, Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, they come in. They attack both girls, but mostly focus most of the attention on Mia Yim, taking her out. Shayna Baszler says she said something to her. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something to her. She takes her out and everything, and leaves her laying. They take off, and later in the night before the main event, they say that William Regal has made a match for next week. It will be Mia Yim taking on Shayna Baszler, so that's going to be a good match. That should be a very interesting match right there. I can't wait to see that. Then the main event, it was for the NXT North American title as Velveteen Dream challenges Johnny Gargano. And just as always, Gargano always delivers. Dream delivers too. Every time I see him, he always delivers. I'm still a little iffy about the gimmick, but he does deliver inside the squared circle. This was a great match. I was tempted to. It's like I always like to pick at least one match for my match of the week. This is a close second. I'm going to stick with my guns here and say the match of the week for me was the Raw Women's title match, Ronda versus Ruby. I'm going to stick with. I said that was the one I really liked out of all the matches. This came in a close second. Velveteen Dream does pick up the win over Gargano, winning the NXT North American title. So this was Gargano's first title defense since winning the title, and now he's already lost it. So I have a feeling, as much as they've been teasing DIY getting back together, I have a feeling that's not going to happen. We're going to get Ciampa and Gargano once more at the next TakeOver, and Gargano's probably going to win the NXT title at the next TakeOver. That's just what I think anyway. But maybe they could get back together. I don't know. But either way, Velveteen Dream, congratulations on winning the North American title, your first title. And great show in NXT. I mean, all the shows I watched this week from the WWE and everything, I really enjoyed. I want to thank you for taking your time to watch this video. I am Mark Allison. Like it. Please like the video. Leave a comment if you like. I'll answer any comments you want. Subscribe to my channel at Next Era Entertainment, which is probably going to be getting changed very soon. I'm probably going to come up with a new name. But either way, thank you for watching, and have a great weekend.